Before we start, we will go over the basics of parliamentary procedure. These pointers will be essential when you are participating in real-life AMWHO conferences. First up, we have addressing the dais. When speaking to the chair, use terms such as honorable chair or chair. Similarly, address the vice chair and the rapporteur by their title. Comments. The use of I is not permitted. Rather, delegates should state, the delegate of blank would like to blank. For and against speeches. This may be used for speakers to provide affirmative and opposing opinions. This is typically giving 30 seconds of speaking time. Yielding time. Delegates may allow the remainder of their time to 1, the chair, discarding their time, 2, to other delegates, or 3, for questions. For example, Fiji yields their time to the chair.
Note passing. Note passing is encouraged as a method of communication between individual delegates or with the dais without using speaking time during committee sessions and plenary. Primary speakers list, a procedural step, a list of delegates wishing to speak. Close or reopen speakers list, motion to or not to add additional speakers to the primary speakers list. Set speakers time. Delegates may motion to set or change the speaker's time limit. A 2/3 majority vote is required for this motion to pass.
Motion to enter a general moderated caucus. Delegates must motion to set the time, length, and purpose of this caucus, moderated by the chair. For example, Fiji motions to enter into a 10-minute long general moderated caucus with 1 minute speaking time for the purpose of discussing. Motion to enter an unmoderated caucus. Delegates must motion to set the length of time, unmoderated by the chair. For example, Fiji motions to enter into a 30-minute long unmoderated caucus. Motion to extend a caucus. Delegates can motion to the current type of caucus for specified length and purpose. Suspension of the rules. Suspends the typical procedure to allow informal discussions.
Disruptiveness. Motions will be voted upon, often by which are the most disruptive. Disruptiveness is defined by the nature of the motion. Unmoderated caucuses are generally seen as more disruptive than moderated caucuses, and its length, which is a 20-minute moderated caucus, is more disruptive than a 15-minute one. Point of order. Delegates can raise a point of order in order to correct an error in procedure. Point of personal privilege. Delegates can raise points of personal privilege for personal clarifications and/or concerns. Point of parliamentary inquiry. Points of parliamentary inquiry allow for delegates to ask questions to the chair. Closure of debate. Moving immediately to vote.
Right of reply allows a delegate to receive speaking time if he or she was personally attacked by another delegate. Roll call vote. To vote by roll call as opposed to a show of placards. Motion to introduce a resolution allows a delegate to motion to begin a debate on a resolution. Motion to amend a resolution. In order for a clause to be amended, it must be deemed unfriendly and voted on by the majority.
Warnings. If necessary, the chair will provide a warning to delegates who speak out of line continuously. After 2 warnings, the delegate will have no speaking or voting rights for the rest of the committee. After 3 warnings, the delegate will be removed. Amendments and division of questions. Allows for delegates to vote on sections of the resolution separately. In order to do so, a 2/3 majority vote is required. Motion to adjourn. A delegate may motion to end committee at the end of each session. Adopt by acclamation, to pass draft resolutions as an entire body by consensus.
Well, welcome everyone. We are gathered here today to discuss how your region will address the topic of breaking the stigma of sexual and reproductive health in your respective region. We're going to start off with roll call. If you are present voting, please raise your placard and indicate so. And if you are present not voting, please indicate so and raise your placard. Please note that only WHO member states are able to vote in this session. First off, Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
President voting.
Thank you. China.
President voting.
Thank you. Singapore.
President voting.
Thank you, delegate. India.
President voting.
Thank you, delegate. And Cambodia.
Present and voting.
Thank you, delegates. We will now set our primary speakers list. The primary speakers list is your chance to give a short speech, typically no longer than 30 seconds, about why a particular sub-theme is important in your region. Our 4 sub-themes for today are maternal and newborn health, adolescent health, elderly health, and reproductive rights. Before we're able to do that, we must have a motion to open debate. Do we have any motions on the floor? Yes, delegate of India.
The delegate of India motions to open debate.
All those in favor of this motion? Perfect. This motion passes. All the delegates wishing to speak, please raise your placards. Nice. So we have the delegate of Cambodia, followed by the delegate of China, followed by the delegate of Singapore, followed by India, followed by the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Delegate of Cambodia, you have 30 seconds.
The delegate of Cambodia strongly urges countries in the Sierra-Wipro region to focus on the theme of adolescent health, as it is incredibly important that the next generation in each country can live a safer life. Adolescents suffer the most from sexually transmitted diseases due to the lack of resources available to them and the stigma associated around seeking preventative treatments associated with sexual and reproductive health. Therefore, helping adolescents and educating them would be of the best interest for the region. Cambodia yields their time to the chair.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of India.
The delegate of India finds it favorable to focus on the region's efforts on adolescent health. India yields its time to the chair.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of Singapore.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The Republic of Singapore believes that maternal and newborn health should be emphasized because it fosters the health of the next generation, and that should be the topic of today's discussion. By focusing in on birth rates, the health of women, and newborn rights, we will be able to build a better region. The Republic of Singapore yields the rest of its time to China.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of China, you have an additional 10 seconds.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. The delegate of China also strongly urges the countries in the region to consider writing a resolution based on maternal and newborn health that will equitably distribute the benefits of prosperity and resolve disparities between urban and rural areas, different population groups, and different geographic areas. If you have any questions, please feel free to send China a note. China yields its time to the chair.
Thank you, delegate. Delegate of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Due to the Democratic People's Republic of Korea's groundbreaking advancements in life expectancy, we urge that the countries in this region write a resolution to focus on elderly health. Countries with less than stellar life expectancy rates, such as India and Cambodia, for example, would benefit the most from this agenda. The DPRK yields its time to the chair.
Thank you, delegate.
Right of reply. The delegate of Cambodia would like to assure everyone that Cambodia's life expectancy has maintained steady with the life expectancy for the region. Cambodia yields its time to India.
The delegate of India would like to echo the sentiments of Cambodia and reassure the room that India's life expectancy is also level to the average life expectancy for the region. India yields its time to the chair.
Yes, delegate of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Point of inquiry.
Yes.
Due to there not being a vice chair or rapporteur, how should we go about passing notes?
Ooh, yes, good question. Each delegate is free to use the note cards in front of you to pass notes as they see fit. Yes, delegate of China.
Motion to enter into a 10-minute-long general moderated caucus with 2-minute speaking times for the purpose of setting the agenda.
Okay. Ooh, delegate of Singapore.
Motion to enter into a 15-minute-long unmoderated caucus for the purposes of setting the agenda.
Thank you, delegates. These motions will be voted on in order of disruptiveness. All of those who are in favor of China's motion to enter into a 10-minute caucus, please raise your placards. This motion passes. Thank you, delegates. Now that you all have agreed to set the agenda to maternal and newborn health and have written your draft resolution, we can now entertain amendments. Do we have any motions on the floor? Yes, delegate of Singapore.
The Republic of Singapore motions to amend point number 2 in the operative clause, which reads, demands the World Bank to allocate monetary resources to the region for the purposes of developing infrastructure that will aid in the advancement of maternal and newborn health. As WHO member states, we cannot, nor have we ever been able to, demand organizations to act. We should change the word demands to urges.
Thank you, delegate. All those who are in favor of this amendment, please raise your placards. Thank you, delegates. This amendment is friendly. Do we have any more? Yes, delegate of Cambodia.
Motion to vote by acclamation.
All those who are in favor of passing this draft resolution as an entire body, please raise your placards. This motion is favorable, and this draft resolution is passed by a consensus. Yes, delegate of India.
Motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you.